very obvious reason, because there's really good work happening in our public universities all over the country, and the University of Wisconsin being an example of that. What they've been doing here in Milwaukee, we took a tour of what they're creating in terms of wind tunnels and the capacity for wind turbines. They're expanding the options and the possibilities of what we can do in terms of domestic manufacturing of batteries and expanding the capacity of our energy grid. So this is great work, and it's the work that we intend to support with substantial resources from the federal government. As I've said, our commitment is to invest more in research and development than has ever happened in the history of our country. We have fallen behind over the last 25 years, and it should not just be a matter of catching up with the rest of the world, but being a leader. And we have the capacity to do that, but it's going to take an investment. We talked about broadband, as you all know. This is an issue that is about our kids, it's about our small businesses, it's about our seniors. But doing what we did in the 1930s, saying the government, the federal government, can play a very important role in a way that only the federal government to electrify the country. Well, that's what we're going to do with broadband, make sure that everyone has it and no one's left out, including and in particular urban America and rural America. With rural America, 35% of rural America does not have access to broadband, not to mention the affordability issue. In urban America, the affordability issue is a very big issue. So this is some of the work that we were doing. I'm happy to take your questions.
Two questions on China, if you're willing, ma'am. Bloomberg News, Jennifer Jacobs.
Hi.
On China, President Xi Jinping didn't really make any big commitments on climate at the summit 2 weeks ago. Can you say what you and the President and Secretary Kerry can do to make sure that China, the world's biggest emitter, steps up to the plate?
Well, Secretary Kerry has been doing a phenomenal job working with our allies around the globe. And what I think we have made clear, and as have our allies, that this is literally a global issue. And if we are to have any real impact, it will be by all of us making commitments and following through on those commitments. So I think Secretary Kerry has done a great job. And it will require, without any question, China's participation in that approach.
Aside from trying to sell the American Jobs Plan, what is your role on broadband? What are you going to do to push it forward now, even before that would pass?
Well, there's a lot that needs to happen, just like when we passed the American Rescue Plan. It is about getting out into America and talking with the people who are the real leaders on the ground on these issues, listening to them and responding to their needs, but also highlighting the best work that is happening that we need to scale up. That's part of the work. Part of the work is working with Congress, as we have just discussed, to reach some reasonable consensus around what is necessary to actually, in this case, make sure that every American has affordable, accessible, high-speed internet.
And do you think this will come from the sky rather than a...
Guys, we gotta go.
Governor DeSantis has
One more and then that's it.
thank you, ma'am. No, thanks, people with ABC. Governor DeSantis of Florida has rolled back the ability of cities and local governments to enforce their own COVID restrictions. Do you believe that is a mistake? Is that too premature at this point in the pandemic?
I strongly believe that whatever rules, protocols, and procedures are put in place must be guided by the public health experts. Period.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, guys. All right, let's load it up.